Hi, I'm Steve from the local grill in Parktown North. We are very honoured to be the current reigning Wolf Trap Steakhouse champions, and today I have the privilege of showing you how to cook the ultimate steak. Right, the first very important part in this process is selecting the best piece of beef. So what we're going to do here is either you make that call whether it's going to be dry aged or wet aged. So we've got some beef in the vacuum bag here. This is some sirloin. I've chosen for today's exercise some ribeye off the bone. Now the next step is to cut it to the ideal size. So we're going to go for about a 300 gram ribeye off the bone, which is what we're doing now. So we're going to cut that 300 gram ribeye there. The next step is to season the beef. So we're going to put some rub down onto our board. We're going to season our board, which is what I'm doing over here. So we season the board with our local grill rub. We then put the steak down onto the rub, and we're going to give it a bit more seasoning, just so it's nicely evenly coated. The most important part of doing a steak is your heat source. So whether you're cooking on coals, whether you're cooking on gas, whether you're cooking in a skillet or a frying pan, you've got to have the heat. The heat's going to make the big difference in browning the steak on the outside and giving us that caramelization that ultimately is going to give us that burst of flavor as we bite into the steak. Temperature now shows we have a reading of about 350 degrees Celsius. Let me just wipe that. You can see over there, close on 350 degrees Celsius. We're going to open up and we have fantastic heat here. Now we're going to get our fillet, but I want to just put a little bit of butter. Now we take our steak, and the steak's going to go straight onto that very hot part of the brine. Because we've used dried herbs and spices, it's important to put a bit of moisture in them. So you could either use olive oil. We prefer to use butter. So I'm going to wipe some butter onto the steak. We're going to turn the steak approximately every 15 seconds. That's so we have a very even browning all the way around. We're not going to really burn one side and burn the other. The way we used to do it in the old days was to do that turn once. They always said turn once so you can seal the steak. The idea here is rather to get an even cook. So we're on about 15 seconds. I'm going to flip it over now. 15 seconds, let's give it a turn. We'll change the direction of the steak. So we change the direction of the lines. Okay? And let's give it some more of that very important butter or olive oil, as we mentioned. Okay, let's turn it over again. Now you see what's happened here. We've changed the direction of the lines, so we're able to monitor exactly how often the steak is being turned. We have quite a fun way of determining how the steak's done, and that's called rule of thumb. If you touch your index finger and your thumb together, and you feel this muscle over here, the first finger, that's medium rare. Your next finger is medium, then we go to medium well, and then your little one is well done. So that's an idea. We really use it as an indication on the pressure of the steak, how much it's done. Okay, so we're at a medium rare now. Give it another turn. Awesome. Okay, another brush of butter. Okay. For our garnish, we're going to just use a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Of course it's local, we'll use a bit of balsamic vinegar. So we're going to just season that lightly, and then the wild rocket will be our garnish. I'm just going to turn the steak on its side to get that fat nice and crispy and brown, and then we're going to take it off and browning the fat over there. Look at that, lovely, and we can take it off onto the board. Now what's very important is that we don't cut it immediately. So we let the beef rest now to allow the muscle fibers to contract as it cools down slightly. Okay, the steak's ready to be cut. We've let it rest for about a minute. We're now going to slice through it and have it ready for serving. Simple as that, and there we have it. Of course, there's nothing better than a lovely glass of red. before a great steak. Cheers.